everybody, OldBayCraps here. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to the table. My name's Craig, and this is going to be session number 1 of DI practice. If you watched the show last night on Jeff at Mid-Atlantic Craps or Ed Roll to Win Craps channels for unraveling the mysteries of DI with Gargoil as well, then you saw that I am replacing Sideshow Gamble due to circumstances that he has going on. So shout out to you, Sideshow. Thank you for allowing me to replace you. I hope you're doing well, brother. So if you watched last night's show, you know that they introduced me to a new shot, shooting underhand, which I've never done. So I'm doing it from stick right, probably stick right 1 if it was at a real table. So this is the first practice after the show. This is the next day. I am doing it today. I'm going to try to calculate 100 rolls. So I will be keeping track of the rolls themselves, even though it's not really that important to working on the mechanics. So I'll be concentrating on the mechanics, but I will log the rolls so that if you happen to go back to this video, you can then use them for rolling out on your own tables. I'm not going to be doing one every day. I'm probably going to be doing one maybe every 3 days, or every so often, maybe twice a week, just to show you progression until the next show. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start rolling. All right, here we go. I'll be using a 5-4-5-4 dice set, just like last night. I'm not going to deviate from the set. Here we go. First roll. So a little cold. It's a hard 4. Again, for me, the result of the dice is not important. I'm just working on mechanics. So I'm not even going to be using the chips on my table for ATS. I'm just going to be rolling it out here. 100 rolls. Here we go. And since I'm a novice, I don't really have the wherewithal to correct myself. I'm just going to try to keep to what Gargoyle and Ed instructed for what I should be looking for, the landing zone, down the lane, bowling it, if you will, using the 3-fingered grip, making sure my index finger is in line with the other fingers. Here we go. And I don't think I logged the last roll. Was that a 3-1-4? If I misdid that, I apologize, but I think it was a 3-1-4. All right, that's a 5-3-8. Dice out. Another 3-1-4. Also, I have my mic that wouldn't work last night hooked up. It's rigged a little bit, so hopefully the audio stays. I'm checking to see that the red light is constantly on. If for some reason the microphone goes out, I will go back to the primitive desktop audio, and I'll probably be getting a new mic this week. Here we go. I could tell that was a little aggressive. That part I can tell and distinguish for you all if I think I didn't do a very good job. I can't believe I've thrown 4 4s out of the first 5 rolls. I guess I just flipped it, right, Chris? Here we go. Dice out. Got a yo. Chiro's helping me out. Thank you, Chiro. Got his chip right here. Dice out. I like that one. 2, 1, 3. I tried to zoom in on the landing zone for you all. I felt last night the camera was a little too far away from the table. Here we go. Three, 2, 5. Dice out. That was a bit aggressive. It's going to be a 2, 1, 3 again. Got a yo. 6, 5. Dice out. Five, 3, 8. So you can let me know in the comments if you'd like about what you thought of the show last night. I welcome everyone's opinion, feedback. I think the stick's in my way. Dice out. Six, 4, 10. And just looking at the screen, it says we got a 2-point fire bet. Pretty cool. Dice out. That was way aggressive, and we got a 4, 3, 7 out. Yeah, that flew out of my hand like crazy, like a bat out of hell. All right, that was a 13 roller. Hey, if learning this can give me consistent number of rolls, I'm all about it. All right, that was the first shooter. Dice out. I could feel the dice slip out of my hand. That's a come out 7. Dice out. The mixer, 5-1. Give a like and subscribe to Sideshow Gamble. So far the microphone's still on. Dice out. I like that one. 3, 2, 5. And just to let you know what I'm doing a par toss upside down for a forward swing. I'm bringing my thumb and my forefingers down about 1 pip. Dice out. We got the OldBay bushel, heart 10. One thing I've noticed about dice throwing is you can't make up for human error. Dice out. That blue die didn't get down there. It's going to be a 6, 3, 9. So what I mean by that is you can't take away if you have a twitch in your arm, your shoulder, your fingers, your hand at the time that you toss the dice. And of course, most times when that does happen, it winds up being a 7, but not always. Dice out. There's a 7, and that was a pretty good toss. 5, 2. All right, that was a 6 roller. Dice out. That was a bit aggressive, but I noticed I probably did that because I saw that the stick was in the way. It's going to be a 6, 4, 10. Let's make sure the stick is down here, way out of the way. I appreciate everybody who joined last night. I hope you enjoyed the show. Dice out. We got a 6, 1, 7 out. That was a PSO. Yeah, that was a PSO. It's going to happen. You can't avoid the 7. The reason, for me, the reason I'm choosing to do DI or practice DI is to prolong before we see a 7. Dice out. 3, 1, 4. Dice out. 5, 2, 7. I liked how it landed, but yeah, didn't care for the result. But that's neither here or there. That's for you all. You all can bet how you want. Dice out. 4, 2, 6. That was a 4. Six, 5, yo. We are seeing some same numbers. Felt that blue dye go right out of my thumb. It's going to be at midnight. Dice out. 5-1 mixer. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. And subscribe to Sideshow Gamble. Dice out. That was a little aggressive, but the dice stayed together mostly. 6, 3, 9. Dice out. 6, 3, 9 again. Dice out. Hard 4. I'll let you know how many we've thrown so far. Six, 4, 10. Dice out. 6, 2, 8. All right, looks like we hit the tall there. Can't argue with that. All right, let's keep going. 5, 4, 5, 4. Dice out. That didn't even reach downtown, so it's going to be a 6, 3, 9. We get a warning from the casino. Sir, please hit the back wall. Here we go. Another 6, 2, 8. And let's see how many rolls we got. All right, so this is shooter number 5. We had 13, 6, it's 19, 21, 22. Oh, we're on a duh. The track history has 34 roll. That was a 34th roll. All right, we're a third of the way there. 100 rolls. Here we go. And there's a 7. 6-1. Who cares? Hope you were betting the dark side. Alright, so even though we were, in my opinion, cold throwing in the beginning, the first shooter was the longest roll. Alright. Here we go. Dice out. We got a mixer. 5-1. 6 will be the point. And it looks like we have a delay. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Let me check something real quick. All right, we're going to continue. Dice out. Got a yo. So I'm concentrating on the fingers, the grip, how I have it on the table, pushing it instead of throwing it. 6, 3, 9. Dice out. That was a little aggressive. 3, 1, 4. Now I'm not there yet where, you know, I am going to adjust my grip yet. I'm just trying to get used to just throwing them down there with an easy toss. 3, 1, 4. You know, I've been playing for 2 years, but I don't know S from Shinola, you know what I'm saying? There's a hard 4. But they kind of exploded. Not what I want to see, mechanics-wise. Don't you find it interesting that when you know when the dice leave your hand, if it's going to be a good roll, which is why you just can't explain when it feels like a good roll and it winds up being a 7. Dice out. That's off the table. Too tall to call. Try that again. Dice out. I like that one better. 6, 4, 10. So far the mic's staying on. It's a good sign. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Dice out. We got a yo. Venmo yo. Dice out. They hit each other, but they were going together to the wall. It's going to be a 5-4-9. The J-Mac. This is roll 44. So we're almost halfway through. Thanks for sticking with me. Dice out. That was a horrible throw. It's going to be a midnight. Dice out. Three, 1, 4. Seems to be a popular number this evening. Dice out. Three, 2, 5. So as I said last night in the show, this is a makeshift table. It's not a real table. I know that most people think, well, you can't really practice on a non-table and let me throw this, hold on. Dice out. You can't throw dice on a non-table, non-real table and expect it to translate to a casino. But, throwing's just part of it. You can certainly learn to bet really well on anything. I think as Ed said in episode 2 of this series, that he knew a guy in, was it Chicago? Who was 80 years old and only had a throwing station or something like that. But he was a hell of a great craps player because he lost the ability to throw at a late age. 3, 1, 4. Oh, we hit the tall earlier. Didn't even see that. But, we come across people all the time and we're just amazed at what they can do and what they've been through and how they've played this game, and we're admired and we admire other people. So, great community. Here we go. Dice out. 6-5, yo, mid-mo, yo. So I'm concentrating on breathing, I'm concentrating on getting my fingers in the right position and pushing them. Dice out. I really like the way that actually landed, I think, somewhere around the 12 on the don't pass bar, and it happens to be a 12. Oh, we hit the repeater on the 11, and I think this probably hit the repeater on the 12. So once that 12 registers in the track history, it's probably going to be the repeater on the 12. And it is the repeater on the 12. My local casino, it doesn't have repeater bets. It doesn't even have hop bets. You can only hop the 7s. But you can play the ATS. No fire bet. But I know that there's this crapless table at Harrah's in Vegas that does have repeater bets. Dice out. 538. And that was roll 52, so we're past the halfway mark. Halfway? What am I at? The halfway mark, so arm fatigue is just starting to set in. I can feel it in my shoulder. But, you know, it'll grow strength over time. So I'm basically throwing it, I got a 628. So I'm basically trying to throw it down the field lane. Right here. This is the lane that I'm using. And then I'm trying to get them to land right around here, but they seem to be landing around here. But when they land there correctly, between the 2 and the don't pass bar, they seem to be staying on target and staying together. Dice out. That one kind of went all over the place. It's going to be a hard 8. Is that back to back to back 8s? It is. And all 3 different kind. The 5-3, the 6-2, and the hard 8. That's funny. I don't think I've ever done that before. Dice out. There's a 6-3-9. So I just want to take a quick look at the tracker. We've hit 8 8s, 7 9s, 11 4s. 11 4s. I don't think I've ever thrown 11 4s. Ever. I don't even think I've thrown 3 or 4 in a single shooter. Dice out. Now I could tell that they split. There's a 3-1-4. I could tell they split when that had, I believe, according to Gargoil, that has to do with my grip. I might have been holding on to them too tight. I think it's when you hold on to the dice too tight, that's when they split, oftentimes. So we'll try to keep our grip light, but intact. That was too high. It's going to be an ace deuce. It was a good grip, but it was too high, I could tell. There was too much of an arc there. 2-1-3. I think we just need aces. Haven't really thrown that at all. Just because it's not part of the... this is the 5-4, 5-4 dice set, so the ones are off axis. Dice out. Again, there was too much energy in that, but it's going to be a 5-4 J-Mac, the 9, the hard 9. But we're definitely hitting box numbers with this toss, so can't complain there. Dice out. Now that one I looked at my landing zone, but when I released the dice, they went off to the right. It's going to be a 3-1-4. I can't believe how many 4s we're throwing. Shit. Waylon, I know Waylon watched this video. If Waylon watches this video, he's gonna bet to the moon. Him and Chris Dice DGen are gonna bet to the moon on the 4. Dice out. And there's a 5-2, 7 out. So we didn't get the all. We hit the tall again. But that was a 25 roller. And where are we? Shoulder's starting to hurt, but we're at 59 rolls. We're about to be, well, that was 60 because it just hasn't gone through the tracker yet. All right, that was roll 60. We have 40 more rolls for session 1. Here we go. Dice out. I like that one a lot. They kind of hit together, split apart, and then came back together once they came back from the wall. 5, 3, 8. Dice out. Not sure if that had too much energy. Maybe it did, but I think the blue die just dug into the table. Interesting that they both went to the right. So I think that might have been my angle, but I'm not too sure. Again, I'm just a novice at this stuff, so this is all brand new. Trying to make sure that the dice are perpendicular to me. Dice out. I could tell, I felt a sweep off the table. It's going to be a 5, 4, 9, but I felt a sweep off the table, so that's why they split. So my knuckles hit the table. It didn't really go the distance, but one die hit the wall. It's going to be a 4, 2, 6. Whoops, I put in too many digits. Give me 1 sec. All right. And the mic's still working. Come on, Mike, where were you last night? Mike crapped out literally 3 minutes before we went live. Dice out. Again, that red die dug into the table. It's going to be a 5-1 mixer. So that one, it kind of felt it, but I can't be too sure that I threw it into the table instead of down the lane. Dice out. So I kind of have an inkling of what the right height's supposed to be. I think Gargoil said 2 inches off the table, which to me that seems awfully difficult to be just to have it travel that distance 2 inches off the ground the entire time. But I'm going to do my best and practice with the homework I was given. Dice out. Again, the blue die dug into the table, but it's going to be a yo mid-mo. I like that roll. Didn't quite land where I wanted them to, but it felt good. 4, 2, 6. Dice out. 3, 2, 5. Like I said, the shoulder pain's starting to set in. So, and I know I probably threw maybe 120 last night. I didn't feel that was that aggressive, but they sure split like it was. But that could have been the grip. 4, 1, 5. Back-to-back 5s. So one of the things I'm really concentrating on is not tossing it in the traditional sense, but pushing it like bowling it. even though I'm looking down where I'm looking right here. It's going to be a 5, 3, 8. I felt my index finger stay on too long. So I think that may have influenced the right die, the red die. It's another 3, 2, 5. So much goes into a toss, it's unbelievable when you talk about mechanics. That was way too much energy. 6, 1. I threw that one. I didn't bowl it. I didn't just move them forward. All right, that was a 12 roller. So we're getting some good numbers out of this, but again, that's not my goal, but if you guys play it back, you can use these rolls to play on your own table. Four, 2, 6. Six will be the point. And we are coming up on 75 rolls. 2 more rolls and we'll be at 75. And then we'll be done for this session. But I will roll until we 7 out if it's not exactly 100. So I'm not really sure what happened with that one. Hopefully I can get some critique on that. 6, 4, 10. As most people will say when they feel they threw a bad dice, my good friend Jeff at OldBayCraps is famous for saying bad roll and it being a really good roll. Good result, let's say. That's what that felt like. I can tell you that it traveled nicely, not perfectly, but I felt the dice skip on the table. Give me a 4, 2, 6. So I'll show you in slow motion what just happened. Not slow motion, I don't have that capability. I'll show you sideways. So I went like this, and then when I went forward, it hit the table multiple times on the way down before it left my hand. Four, 3, 7. Had a little too much energy on it, but it was. I felt it was a good toss. All right, that was roll 76. So far, I think we're seeing exactly what's going to be expected of the first week. We're just seeing inconsistency. There's a come out 7. I like the way they bounced off the wall though, but they went to the right. Six, 2, 8. 8 will be the point. And there was not enough energy as it didn't even make it down the lane. There's a PSO. 5, 2. So for me, you know, if we were at the real casino, you're seeing average rolls by most of the shooters around the table. That was a good one. Double D-Gen. Finally in the house. Double D-Gen right there. 3-3. Give Chris at Dice D-Gen a like and subscribe. Three, 2, 5. We're coming up on the last batch of rolls. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Those went into the hook. And we are on roll 83. So we have less than 20 to go. Got a midnight. Come out roll. Six, 4, 10. I thought that was a good shot. 10 will be the point. Five, 3, 8. They bounced back way too far. Another short roll, 4, 3. I didn't like the way that had to do with my grip. They split. It's gonna be a hard 6, but I did not like that at all. Five, 4, 9. Six, 4, 10. Six, 3, 9. I can feel fatigue setting in and my hands starting to cramp. That's going to happen when you're throwing long time. They dribbled. But they didn't make it much past the pass line. Certainly didn't hit the wall. 5-3-8. We're going to need a little bit more energy on that. So they split. That could have been my grip again. 4-2. And that was roll 92. 8 more rolls. Too much energy, but I like the way that they were very near the wall, even though they split a bit. 6-2-8. Hard 4. They landed right around the 2, between the 2 and the 3, I think. Not where I wanted to land them, but they did what I wanted them to do, which was stay together. Four, 3. That was a 9 roller. That was roll number 95. 5 more rolls. It's a hard 6, but they landed right between the 4 and the 9 in the field. Six will be the point. They went off to the left. 6-5 mid-mo-yo. Six, 3, 9. Five, 3, 8. I know that fatigue is setting in. One die seems to be lagging behind on every single roll. I had a lot of energy coming down the pipe. It's going to be a 6-1-7 out. And that's roll number 100. Apropos, man. The 100th roll was a 7 out. I am fatigued. Ugh. All right, well, this was the end of OBC rollout of the DI practice for session number 1 of week 1. If you missed last night's show on Jeff Mid-Atlantic Craps or Ed Roll to Win's channels last night, I'll put the link in the description. But thank you to Jeff, Ed, and Gargoil. I love that you guys are doing this. This is really going to help me out immensely. because I'm going to put everything I got into it. So, you know, I kind of think that the rules tonight were the same as last night. It's a new toss. I'm getting used to the lane. I'm getting used to that. We know that down the line that I'm going to have to get used to chips in the way and, you know, trying this out on different tables, whether it's hard, bouncy. But I appreciate everybody, you know, jumping on the journey with me, and with Jeff, Ed, and Gargoil. Give them all a like and subscribe. With, I believe it's Unraveling. I keep forgetting the title of the show. I think it's Unraveling the Mysteries of DI. So thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you next time. Roll it.